Guys, I am getting ready to work on my Victoria Marie mini album again, and I'm going to start off with doing a little map of everywhere that people have traveled from who came to the event, because we came from all over the place. And I just wanted to show you that what I did was I went to my Silhouette and I cut out an image of the map of the United States, and I cut it to be about a little bit less than 6 inches wide because I want to have it in my album like this instead of like this. So I just made it that size, and I cut it out of this really pretty pattern paper. I wanted to go for a subtle pattern because I am going to be putting enamel dots on it. And the paper I used is the Amy Tangerine from her Ready Set Go. It's called Wind Down, and I just did it out of here. And for some reason, I don't know why it cut it lengthwise like this. I don't know. So regardless, but I got it done. So I'm going to be using this, and that is where I'm going to get started. All right, so I am going to pick my page protector that I'm going to use. And at first I thought I would use like a full 6x8, but then I saw the two 4x6s, so I'm going to do that instead. So I'll do the map up on top and then do some journaling down on the bottom. And I'm going to grab some things from my kit here that I pulled. I have a list of where everyone traveled from. I pulled some large numbers and some washi tape. And I'm going to use enamel dots. And I thought about using ones that someone had made for us at the retreat, but they're a little bit too big. So I'm going to use some smaller ones instead. And I grabbed a little flare badge. And then I am going to go ahead and pick some pattern paper to use on here as well, and just kind of grabbing stuff here and there to see exactly what I want to do. So just whatever's catching my eye at the time. All right, so I'm going to go through my enamel dots here, and I'm going to be choosing the smallest size. So I just want to make sure I have enough to be able to do this, and I do. So I am going to go ahead and pick this piece of pattern paper here from an October Afternoon paper pad or paper pack that is designed for 6x8 albums. And so I picked a couple of those that I'm going to end up using here. So the first one is this blue, and I just cut it in half to make it 4x6, and then the other one is this gray, and I just cut that part off the bottom. So I'm going to put the map on this blue here. I'm just going to go ahead and stick it down. And it fits perfectly. And then I have a list of where everyone is from, because as we were talking about where we were from and where we traveled from and all that, I kind of wrote them down. And I have 15 people who came to the retreat. And so I'm going to find a number 15. I didn't have a 5 in those large numbers, so I'm going to pick these smaller ones. And it ended up working out better anyway, based on what I end up doing on the bottom. So it's going to be a 1 and a 5 down here. It takes me way too long to find a 5. And so I'm going to use those, and those numbers are from Basic Gray. So what I'm going to end up doing, I play around with using one of these punches here from a punch that we did at the crop, but it wasn't going to work, so I didn't worry about that. So I'm going to take some enamel dots, and I used this little glitter, or not a glitter, but like a gem to represent where we traveled to. And we had quite a few people who were from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I think there were 5. So I only used 1 for that instead of using like 5 different dots right there. It would be a little bit hard. So I'm just putting little dots around the areas where people traveled from. We had people from Colorado. We had someone from Michigan, Pennsylvania, California, Mississippi, and then a few more from the southern parts of Texas, and then we had one from Utah, and I came from New Mexico, so that one's mine down there. So what I did was I kind of scattered them around very loosely based on the map. Obviously it's not exact, but I'm going to take my pen here and I'm going to do kind of a little stitched line from each one all down to the gem there, because that is where we all gathered. So that's kind of the central area. So I'm just doing little dots here, or little almost like stitching lines, and kind of all go there. And I really like the way that that looks. I thought that was pretty cool. And I thought about adding something else to that map, just kind of in the white space, like maybe a globe or something, but I don't know. I don't really think it really needed it. So I'm going to leave it the way it is. And then for the bottom card here, I'm going to use this little map sticker from Studio Calico, and I'm going to put the 15 on top of it. And I like that you can still see the map peeking out from the back there. And that flare badge says, "Just say yes." And I thought that was pretty fitting for this because we all said yes when Victoria wanted to organize this. And we made it happen. And then I used a piece of washi tape from Pink Fresh Studio, and it has a nice saying on it about wanting to be creative and surround yourself with good people and positive things and things along that line. So I thought that was pretty nice. And now I'm just doing journaling about where we all came from and, you know, how many people came from which area. And just talking about that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this flare badge down. And stick that in, and I like the way that that looks. It's a little simple, but it's good. And now I'm going to work on the back here, and I'm going to be doing more about me getting ready to go and like me actually leaving. So I have this Starbucks sleeve from a coffee I got on the way out of town, and I just kept it. So I'm going to use this Ready, Set, Go from Amy Tangerine, the really large sticker there. And then I'm going to cut out a circle from here instead of using the entire thing. I'm just going to cut out a circle of it. I'm going to use a 2-inch hole punch. It's not going to cut it all completely. It'll be a little bit smaller than what it actually is, but it's enough, you know, you can tell that's Starbucks. So I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to take my favorite stamp, which is from Stampin' Up, and it is a coffee cup. And I am going to stamp a few images, and then I'm going to layer the stamps to make my own kind of custom coffee mug. And I've done this technique a few times, and I've pretty much done it every single time I use a stamp. I absolutely love it. I love the way they always turn out. And I haven't done it for a while, so I'm going to do it now. So I'm going to take this stamp here, and I'm going to stamp it 3 times. So I'm going to stamp on that green stripe paper, which will be my base. That beige brown stripe paper is going to be for the sleeve, and then the white is going to be for the top of the cup. So as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and piece it all together so you can see. So I'm just basically going to fussy cut it out, and then I'm going to layer the other 2 pieces on top of here. And I saw Sandra from Oh Snap Gonzo do this one time, and ever since I saw her do that, I was doing it constantly. It really is one of my favorite things when it's done. So that's going to be my base. And then I'm going to cut out only the sleeve portion of this here, so only the center part. And then it will look really nice put on top of the stamp just like that. So I'll just stick it down there. And then I'm going to do the same thing here for the top of the cup. There you go. And then I'm just going to literally just take it and layer it together, and then it will be like my own little custom coffee stamp. And I really, really love the way that that looks. So I can stick that on here as well. And so now I have a sticker that says "Pack Your Bags," and it's something I had saved for a while. And I'm going to go ahead and stick it on this picture of the trunk of my car, which has all my bags and scrap stuff packed in it. So I was ready to go. I took that right before I left. And then I'm going to use some Hero Arts letter stamps, and I'm going to spell out "But First Coffee." And that's because I had to get coffee on my way out of town. So I I did that, and then I will go ahead and stick down the stamped image there and the Starbucks thing. And the Starbucks, I will stick it, but then staple it as well with my tiny attacher. And then that's going to be it for this for right now. I was going to keep going, but my battery ran out and I didn't have any more time to work that day, so I didn't get as much done as I would have liked, but that's okay. Hopefully the next one is going to be a bit more of a bigger chunk. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon. Bye.